a team egg. You laid an egg. There wasn't that energy or emotion. Yeah, the beauty is that if Ned's not the answer, you got Husso.
What I saw from him versus what I saw from Nedeljkovic wasn't equal to.
So here's the beauty.
It wasn't.
Soderblom on a few of the goals. He looked young, and he looked small last night.
One of my concerns about the Red Wings did rear its ugly head yesterday, and that's Alex Nedeljkovic. Like, from what I saw last year, and look, the stock response, because I know everybody wants to hang on to everything, the stock response was the team was bad in front of them. The team had letdowns defensively, which certainly they did. They did. But there, a couple softies were let in as well. It was pretty much on brand. We saw why the goalie position is important in the NHL. We did.
Well, I mean, it's the inconsistencies. Like Alex Nedeljkovic, yes, you're going to see him make the highlight real goals, but he's going to struggle different times. I think last night wasn't as much him per se, but it was it was a team egg. You laid an egg, at home after coming off of probably your best 60-minute game you played against Anaheim on Sunday, and to come out at home during the week. I could chalk this one up to sort of growing pains, but you could tell from early on, Dylan Larkin scored early, but there wasn't that energy or emotion, right? I saw more turnovers and all the little things. And New Jersey, that's what they were faster last night. Jack Hughes, man, that little bugger can skate. You saw why Jersey paid all the money to Dougie Hamilton, but Jersey pretty much came in and played the road game like we went into Jersey's second game of the season and beat them, but we just didn't have it. Puck was bouncing. You look at it right now, and like I said, next segment we're going to get into the five for fighting and stuff like this, where I do have a conversation about the goaltending. But yeah, so which goes to you should be grateful, right? This is something that it seems apparent that Steve Yzerman recognized, used his third rounder in the second consecutive year in the draft to go out and get a goalie. So yeah, the beauty is that if Ned's not the answer, you got Husso. So to me last night, if you were at the game and stuff like this, is Soderblom on a few of the goals, right? He looked young, and he looked small last night. And when a 6'9" guy looks small or is getting beat in stick battles with younger, smaller guys, that's very apparent. So he's going to have games like that.
It's interesting you say that, D-Mac. It's interesting you say that because Coach Campy always talks about that with the bigs in basketball. Like, you're 6'8", play big.
Yeah.
Because you can make yourself small.
And this is the one thing, and this will be the constant. And here's the one thing is, like, we're talking about the Durans and the Ivies, and these are the educations that they're getting at the highest level right away. That you can't learn this, but it's more of being adamant. Now, when the big guy plays small, and for Soderblom at 6'9" with the reach, but when he's stick handling inside and trying to beat guys close to their body, no, you got to use your width, and when you don't see that, then they're less effective. I thought last night was the least effective the Redwood line was, right? They're ineffective. And the ebbs and flows of the game, there's a couple things that I didn't see that I needed to see. When you don't have it, somebody's got to go out. And I saw Sherrod out there trying to murder guys, which was awesome, and he got a big hit in. But you need that up and down your lineup. That's where you need the guys like that third line, and you got like Ernie in your fourth lines to bring the crowd into it. That's the one thing too. Jersey did a great job yesterday taking the crowd out of it pretty much for everything but the first 10 minutes of the game.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Our resident Red Wings expert Tammy Chin weighs in, says Hughes looked very good. I haven't lost faith in Ned, but he needs to stop the easy shots. And Tammy, that's been my thing the whole time. Whenever we talk about Red Wings and we talk about the goaltender spot, it was apparent to me based on what I saw last year as a guy, and this is thin, I understand that, but it's relevant, I think, as a guy who had Ville Husso on his fantasy team last year for the second half of the season. What I saw from him versus what I saw from Nedeljkovic wasn't equal to.
So here's the beauty.
It wasn't. And I'll give you the beauty. I'll cut you off there, D-Mac. I'll give you the beauty. Nedeljkovic is in the final year of his contract. He's an unrestricted free agent next year. ...
Okay, well, that's the beauty to you,
That's
too.
the beauty.
You look at
Beauty to me.
The beauty to me is you got Kosa frothing at the bit down in the minors.
And he's on a rookie contract.
What I'm saying is you have guys in the pipeline who are looking, right? And the beauty is that you have the fallback. One doesn't work, you have, oh, my God, A. So maybe that it's more apparent that Billy Husso. But I agree with Tammy is that I'm not going to write that off just yet. But it definitely – and here it comes down to an analogy too, right? Where the coach will realize who do the guys play better in front of? Who do they play different in front of?
Well,
You've
but there's an
mentioned
answer
that with the guys at quarterback.
Yeah, there's an answer so far to that question.
Well, if
there
we're
just
going
is.
by if we're going by what you go always by is the facts. I mean, if you want the facts are they play better in front of Husso. It's true. So aren't you happy that you have that?
100%,
in the back pocket. That is the best
the
part.
the move itself too. And look, I people are talking about it, and that's been my sentiment too. Like, you can't let in soft goals. Are the Red Wings better? Obviously, they're better. We've talked about that. They're a professional hockey team out there now. However, with that being said, they're not so good that you can overcome two softies. They can't. No team, over the course of a season, no team can really, when you think about it. But in particular, this team, and you just, as I've said, and I've held true with this, which is why I thought they'll be on the outside looking in. If they're on the graphic in the last 2 weeks, that's a victory to me. It's just in this division, in this conference, you can't have last night.
Well, you mentioned it there where we talk about it. You look at how tight
Can't
it
have
is. How tight it is.
And I don't care if you don't have it. That I was able to write it off when it happened with the Kings game because they fought back and they got something out of it. You can't have home games against the Devils where you don't get points. If that happens 4 times, you lose out on 4 to 6 points. It's a wrap in this division, man.
All it is just remember that these weak games, this stuff like this, how important it is when it comes down to the end of the year and you miss the playoffs by like 2 points or 3 points, right? That's why Gary Bettman hockey, it's so tightly contested, but there are great teams. All throughout this Eastern Conference. That's what makes it different. You're not just competing with how good you are, you're competing with how good you are against your competition.
What about this here? Detroit Dabber 313. Kosa's getting a big workload between Grand Rapids and Toledo. And Tammy also says, I think Kosa is 2 years away yet. He is close, however.
I think just the way you're playing it out right now, as far as what you just told me about Ned's contract and stuff like that.
The writing's kind of on the wall, isn't it?
It's next year. Backing up Puso next year.
Like you start working backwards and put the pieces together.
When you throw in, it's like you got the key to the lock and you throw it in there and stuff like this. Which I ran into Stevie yesterday, by the way. He said to say hello.
Tell him I said hi too.
Absolutely.
Tell him he didn't text me back the other day.
No, exactly.
I know he's busy.
He said don't ask him dumb questions.
I know he had some cap questions for me. And,
absolutely. He was wondering. He said he'd get back to you. He said he got it figured out. But stay near.